Hi, today I'm in my studio and I just have a few minutes before I have to call it quits here. And I just really felt like getting into painting. I've been uh, re recording and editing video all day and I just need to do some creating with some paint. So I thought I'd open my sketchbook and do an intuitive figure painting on a messy background. So come along with me and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So this is my messy background and it's just from using up leftover paint, and I thought I would try using up more paint that I have some dribs and drabs in a tube. So I put out some manganese blue hue from Golden, some of Amsterdam's acrylic peach tone. It's called Naples Yellow Red. And I have some Artist Loft light blue and some Amsterdam Azo Yellow Deep. And I also have some Terra Verte Hue Green, which I never use. Somebody gave it to me, so there's something green in here. I don't know if it's that, but anyway, I'm going to see what I can do. So how I like to start my figures is to find something in here. And so I did gaze at this a little bit before I turned the camera on, and I could see that maybe I had a figure in here. I was kind of liking that shape. I saw something kind of big and interesting. And I also kind of feel like this is a figure. Kind of in the back. Maybe that part of it, something along that line. On this one, I thought that looked like a head. Maybe she has a bit of a long neck. This could be the body. Top. I feel like maybe she's sitting at a table here. Maybe that's one of her legs. So let's give her a bit of a chair or something to sit on. She's not floating. So I'm finding things and I'm making things up. Obviously the table will need some kind of a leg as well. If I put it in the center, it's going to compete with that, so I think it's going to have to be a table that has a leg over here. And let's see, maybe there's a cup of tea. Okay. We'll go with that. So I've got that was just white chalkboard chalk, and I've got a 1-inch brush here. I'm just going to wet it. And I'm going to add some color to this figure to start with, I think. So let's see, I think I'll go for this. Put my paint closer so you can see it. So this is some manganese blue hue, and it's pretty transparent. I'm just going to go over top of this light area. Brighten this up as well. And I have some white, there's a lot of black in the background actually. I'm thinking maybe I should go with black. So I've got some black right in this jug. So Sketchbook is a great place to test out some ideas and maybe come up with some new shapes that you haven't done before you commit to a larger size of a canvas. It's just a great way to practice and build your repertoire. Doing the negative space around the legs. Okay, so I like working on two at the same time. So I think I'm going to go around the negative space in this one as well, at least some of it. Oops. So again, I'll just use the black at the bottom for now. This paint's a little bit thick and gummy. I'm really trying hard to use up my leftover or bits and bobs of paint, and so sometimes you don't have enough of one color left to really paint much on a canvas. So I think the sketchbook is a good place to use that. Okay. So she's got a rather long neck. I might leave some of the interest in the background. So already it's starting to, oh, that's just a bit thick. It's starting to take on the shapes of the scene. Okay, not sure about this green shape in the back, if I'm going to leave it or leave all of it. But I can get rid of it later. So I'm envisioning she's sitting somewhere where there's some background going on, some background atmosphere and noise. Okay. Just got a clean brush here. So on this one, there's quite a bit of green. Feeling maybe I'll use a bit of peach. Bring some into here, into her neck. And kind of put in a bit of an arm shape. She's got a rather long arm. Okay, I've got some on my brush. I'll put a little bit of that color over here while I'm at it. This is why I like painting on two at the same time, especially when they're small like this, because I can go back and forth. Now, some of that's wet. I am picking it up. The black, so I'm going to have to be careful. Okay. Sorry about the washing brush noise. I should have got out a whole bunch more brushes here. I wasn't considering using black. That was kind of a intuitive decision, which happens sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to mix some green. I don't have, I'm just going to try and tweak this green. Oh my, it's really thick. So just some yellow. It's not quite the same as the green there, but it'll be okay. So I like the dark pants, but I feel like I need some more green somewhere. I think maybe I'll make a green chair. And again, I'm going to put some of the same over here. Just adding it in a few places to keep the painting connected. Bring a little bit of blue onto this one. So I have to watch that some of the paint is still not dry, so I want to be cautious of that. Just adding a little lighter color onto this side. I need to differentiate between these two dresses here. So why don't I put a bit of this here? The green paint underneath is a bit wet and it's coming up. I feel like I want to just do some marks into here to bring some of that up. So kind of some Asemic writing. If you're not familiar with Asemic writing, I did a video the other day with some Asemic writing demonstration that you can watch, and that'll give you a better understanding about how to do it, how to use it in your painting. So it is really the language of art. Her arm looks like it's not coming from the right place. I'm going to have to correct that. Maybe paint it in. Okay, I feel like she needs a hat on. Still wet over there. Okay. Back to the teacup. So the teacup is kind of a focus point, I think. So I think I'm going to go for this azo yellow color. It's a little bonus here. Don't really like the covering of this paint. Have to put another layer on there probably. Okay, I think if this is dry enough, I feel like coming into here and doing some writing on the back. But this isn't going to work very well, my jelly roll. There we go. Now I think that green is taking a little bit too much attention. I think I'm going to have to calm that down. So back to the black paint. I got put a little bit of yellow on my brush so it's not true black. And let's see if I could scratch into that. Just write the word cafe in here. Okay, so I think I'll juice up her pants a bit. Just put over some of this manganese blue. So it's really, I find it hard to really talk and get into my intuitive brain at the same time. So sorry for all the silent gaps, but this is the way it is. Okay. Okay, let's see. I need to make that hand a little more prominent there. So I'm just using this peachy tone. A little bit more in the face. Okay, they've got kind of strange legs so far. Gray that down a little bit by adding the opposite. All right, okay, so I think I've got to tone that down a little bit in the background as well. Feels just a little bit too light, taking away from my subject here. So I'm just gonna try glazing over it, make it a little less of a value shift here. Just tone that in. That feels better. Yeah, So this is still wet. I may go back and put a hat on, or maybe some hair. So I've still got some yellow, and I'm not sure why I put white in it. Sorry, I've got this off camera. So I want to try and mix up some green for her hair, at least for the initial layer of her hair. So, or hat, what's she gonna have? Okay, go for the hair. Like a little hat. So this is still wet. Just pull some of that paint around. So just grab some pastels here, and I think I will just maybe add a little bit of pastel. So some pink. I feel like I actually want to take that tablecloth off the edge of the painting. Just so I don't have a black border across there. So if you're using oil pastel, they actually don't dry. So they also resist your acrylic paint after you put them on. So you have to be mindful of when you put them on. I'm feeling like that chair needs another leg back in the distance here. And this paint I'm using is really gummy, so it's getting too old. So yeah, just for dimension, I'm feeling like it needs just another leg back there. Okay, it's kind of near what I'm going to do. I might wipe off a bit of the chalk in places and just bring a bit more of that pastel in. Okay, this one, let's try for a different color. I also have some chalk pastel too. That can work. I think some of these pastels I've had actually since I was in high school. They're very old. add some more mess into the background. And I feel like she needs some boots or something. But I'm just going to put a bit of a line going across here. Yeah. Just trying to mix something up out of what I have out here. And that's really ugly. Just want to make some kind of boots on her. So I don't have red to push that back. I'm going to try orange. Try and get something that's kind of a grayish color. It's a little too green. Yeah, I don't like that. I might have to spring for my black paint here. Add a little bit of black. There, got a better, darker green. Okay, try this again. Okay. Okay, that's pretty crude. My brush is super big, but I'm going to fix it up slightly with some black paint. And I think that will be all the time I can spend. Give her a bit of an ankle. Okay, well, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. So let's come back on my screen here. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below and I'm happy to answer them. And we'll see you real soon. Okay, bye.